Welcome to Beauty and the Biz. Discover how to grow your practice with effective cosmetic patient attraction, conversion, and retention advice from author, speaker, trainer, and cosmetic practice business and marketing coach, Catherine Maley, MBA.
Hello and welcome to Beauty and the Biz, where we talk about the business and marketing side of plastic surgery. I'm your host, Catherine Maley, author of Your Aesthetic Practice and consultant to plastic surgeons to get them more patients and more profits. And in this episode, we're going to focus on the one-time or lifetime cosmetic patient. And I hope I can give you a new perspective on this, because after consulting with plastic surgeons for over 20 years, I have found that they oftentimes tend to focus on surgery. And that creates a one and done mindset. Because if you're a surgeon, obviously it makes a ton of sense for you to want to perform surgery. So you focus all of your efforts, all of your budget on finding prospective patients ready for plastic surgery. However, I'm sure you've noticed it's very difficult to win today with that strategy, because you can literally go broke trying to find enough needle in the haystack plastic surgery patients ready for surgery in today's competitive world. One of the issues I see is you spend a ton of money on leads, and that is exactly what you should be doing if, and this is a big if you have your ducks in a row when the phone rings. So you have to be able to convert these callers to appointments to consults, and they have to say yes and actually pay you money, or those leads are just what they are, leads. Nothing counts until money changes hands. So when you change your strategy and your mindset from a one-time patient to a lifetime patient, your world really does open up to new opportunities. Now, this might help you change your perspective. Think of every single cosmetic patient as a $50,000 revenue stream. Now, one patient can be worth $50,000 when you consider what they themselves invest in your surgical and non-surgical cosmetic services, but also what their friends, family, colleagues, and internet friends invest in your services as well. But you've got to do it right. So when you look at it this way, you realize you don't need to spend as much time and money on one and done plastic surgery patients, because you have a steady stream of patients who return, refer, and review. So for example, if your average surgical procedure is $8,000, and you know what it is, I know a lot of you have $50,000 procedures, but I just want to keep it real, because you could have anywhere from a $5,000 procedure to a $50,000, but I just want to keep it real. So if you have a surgical procedure that's $8,000, it takes 125 of them to make $1 million. However, you only need 20 of these patients when they're worth $50,000 to you to get to that $1 million mark. Do you see how exciting that can be? So now you can scale to multi-millions of dollars per year because you're working smarter and not harder on these one-time hits. Now, that sounds great, but how do you do that? Well, how do you fill up your practice with more of these high-worth patients? The secret is to make your patients feel special, because they are. They really are. They're the ones growing your practice for you, or they should be. Treat your patients like your family and your friends, and I swear they will reciprocate. I have seen this over and over. You can run a factory-like one-and-done operation, or you could slow it down, get to know your patients, and live a longer, happier life, and more profitable, by the way. But don't leave this to chance, okay? It's not your patient's job to nurture a relationship with you. It's you and your staff's job to treat these patients with friendliness, kindness, respect, and continue to nurture these relationships for a lifetime. So I'm going to give you 3 ways to segment and then nurture your plastic surgery patients for a lifetime. And I'm going to say right now, not every patient is going to be your best friend or your best patient advocate. You know you have some patients who you don't love, they don't love you, they didn't love their result, but please don't focus on the negative. Focus on the 97% that do love you, would love you a lot more, would refer a lot more often, would do an awful lot more for you to grow your practice if you would only nurture them. So here's the first idea, and I call it the VIP status. Now, after a patient has had surgery with you, invite them back for their post-op visit and let them know you have a gift waiting for them. Now, also let them know that you'll be taking their after photos, and you would appreciate a video testimonial as well if they wouldn't mind. Now, present them with a VIP card that entitles them to special perks for the next year. Now, some of those perks could include valet parking if you're in a city, no waiting Botox appointment. You could have a massage chair session in a private room, 20% off all laser treatments, a free monthly peel, and so on. Just get together as a team and come up with some perks that you know your patients would love, or just ask them, what would you like? And then turn that into a VIP strategy that works well for you, because when you make your patients feel special, they're bound to brag about you to their friends. I will use the analogy of the airlines. I used to fly, over 100,000 miles a year, but due to COVID, I've been grounded and it's been awful. I really enjoy traveling. But the reason I enjoy it is because I play the game. So I'm with American Airlines, and I'm always with American Airlines because I am part of all of their elite stuff because I fly so much. So I get on the plane first. First of all, I sit in the lounge, which I love. I have my decaf latte. I get some work done. I primp if I have to. Then I get on the plane first. I have a beautiful seat that I enjoy. My bag, I always bring on a bag. That's my secret of travel. Just keep your bag with you because the airlines lose it half the time. And then I have a nice room to work in. I get fed and all of that stuff. I play that game because it's a lot more fun to travel that way than sitting in on the back on top of each other kind of thing. Anyway, so that's the point. They make me feel special. I stay with them. And it's the same thing with your practice and your patients. So here's number 2. And I realize there's COVID. So when it's over, because it will end someday, it'll probably end very soon. It has to, because we have to get back to work. But now, number 2, have exclusive private events. I guess right now they need to be virtual, but the point is to make them exclusive and private and like invitation only. So hold them, they're fun catered events in your office after hours for your surgical patients, and then they're to bring a friend to introduce to you and your staff. Now, you can have special guests. It's not about the plastic surgery as much as it is about the camaraderie. So you can invite guests such as an author or an artist, or you can give mini presentations on what's new in the world of plastic surgery and even non-surgical technologies. So your patients who had surgery can show off their results and talk you up, and their friends can bond with you and your staff and talk to you about the possibilities of having their own surgical procedure or non-surgical. So offer the guests a complimentary surgical consultation gift card, and then offer to book their consultation at your event to save them time. I used to do a ton of events when I was new to this industry in San Francisco. And one thing I know, coming from a sales background, you always introduce your offer and close it up when everybody's hot for it. So that night, you've wined and dined them. You had a really fun event. Maybe you had a local author there, or you had a comedian or a whatever, a fortune teller, whatever you did. And they're all in a really good mood. They also know half the room has had surgery by you, so they're not intimidated by talking about it or showing it off. And what a perfect time to get those prospective patients on the books now. I just find if you wait too long, this is what happens. A lot of you have events and then you're calling them, many days later. Well, the thrill is gone. You have to catch people when they're hot. And so anyway, I always did it right at the event. And then here's another one. It's the patient loyalty program. Now, in today's competitive world, it's really smart to do everything humanly possible to attract a new patient to you, but then keep them for the long run. However, our industry has been fairly commoditized, especially with the non-surgical, but you don't want to compete on price. I just have watched this forever, and price is getting to be a very big issue. And you don't want it to be, but it doesn't matter, because if the public now thinks everything's on sale all the time, they are definitely more price conscious than they were before. So you want to deal with that somehow. But instead of offering, first of all, I'd like you to offer a much better patient experience, and then reward them for returning, referring, and reviewing without discounting. We have to get rid of this discounting thing. It's a race to the bottom and it's going nowhere. So if you do want an easy way to do this, just text the word easy to my cell phone. It's 415-377-8700, and I'll help you out with that. Now, just a note, there are many loyalty programs available, and most of them fall flat for a variety of reasons. Either they're too complicated for the patients to understand and get excited about, or the staff is confused by all the rules involved, or they're just poorly marketed, so they just fizzle out. So please be sure you choose a loyalty program that's easy for your staff to implement and your patients are eager to participate in. So again, if you want that easy way to do this, please text me the word easy at 415-377-8700. Now, the point is to spend as much time building your practice from the inside out with patients who already know, like, and trust you, as you do trying to attract new stranger internet patients externally. So now that you know more, do you want a one-time or a lifetime cosmetic patient? Please say lifetime. Okay, that's it for this week. And as always, thanks so much for listening. And please subscribe to Beauty and the Biz if you haven't already. Of course, I would love a review and would appreciate it if you are getting value from this. And then I'd love to hear from you. If you have any feedback, questions, or comments, please leave me a message on my website at catherinemaley.com or DM me on Instagram at Catherine Maley MBA. Thanks so much. Talk to you later.
We hope you found valuable insight on this episode of Beauty and the Biz. For more episodes, tools, and Catherine's free book, visit www.catherinemaley.com. That's www.catherinemaley.com. And be sure to subscribe to get the latest practice building strategies delivered to you. And don't forget to share this Beauty and the Biz podcast with your staff and colleagues.